Hello students, I hope I'm live. Let me check quickly. Fatafat. And I hope and wish that all of you are doing well. Either, yes? Let me see if I'm live. Okay, yes. So very good evening to everyone. Welcome to an exciting session for ICSE Physics Class 9 students. Okay, I'm your physics educator. My name is Kalyan Krishna Awasthi, and this is my qualification. I'm master's in electronics, and right now I'm pursuing my PhD in the same very field. Okay, so these are my credentials, and I am a physics educator, and these are the topics that we are going to cover in today's session. I mean, infrasonic frequencies, sonic frequencies, and ultrasonic frequencies. We'll be checking the ranges, we'll be going through the properties, I mean how and where they are found and where their application is. I mean, see, for any ray, whatever be it, I mean, it might be a audible ray, I mean, it might be an audible frequency, infrasonic, ultrasonic, or whatever frequency. The most important part is the application part, right? We are using these rays, I mean, we are using these sound waves at certain specific points. And see, the application point is directly related to the properties. I mean, if, for example, I am having a certain property, then only I can find an application somewhere. Okay, so you cannot understand the application part without actually understanding the properties. Okay, this is the catch. Okay, so this is what we're going to discuss in today's class, and I'll be taking you through with the very basic concept of what a frequency is. I mean, how should we perceive frequency? And this happens to be my code Kalyan Live. This is my YT code. You can use this particular code to avail 10% discount. Let me write it here. Kalyan Live. This is my code. Okay, I hope you've got it right. And if you're not following the Unacademy champions on Telegram, do follow it now. The link for the uh, same is given in the description box. You can click on this link and follow us on Telegram, right? And in case you're watching this particular lecture on YT and you haven't subscribed it yet, so well, subscribe us. We are targeting for 1,000 subscribers. Quickly let us complete this target. I mean, we are aiming for 1,000 subscribers. And don't forget to like and click the bell icon. I mean, as soon as you click the bell icon, you'll be updated with all the upcoming videos, right? So just do it now. If you haven't subscribed us, subscribe us at YouTube now. Okay, this is going to be the content of this particular session. I mean, we'll be taking on these particular topics. I'll be starting with infrasonic frequency, then we'll be discussing sonic frequency, and finally the concluding part and the most important part is the ultrasonic frequency part, right? So let's start. Before starting the session, let me quickly brief you about this exciting, very good offer. This happens to be my code. And what's the offer is? The offer is, if you are subscribing Unacademy for 1 year or above, you'll be getting a 6 months subscription absolutely free. I mean, you can't ask for something more. And today is the last day. I mean, 27th of Jan is the last day. Okay, you can use this code to get additional 10% discount. Fine. So what are you waiting for? I mean, this offer is not going to last for maybe next 6 to 10 hours. I mean, it's already 7:45 and you're left with only maybe 3 hours. So if you're watching this video, this is the right time to go for it. You will be getting a 6 months free extension. I mean, if you enroll for say 12 months, it will be obviously 18 months. And I mean, 12 plus 6 will be 18 months. And on top of that, you will be getting a 10% discount when you'll be using this particular code, right? So I hope you'll be using this code and taking good advantage of this particular offer, because the offer is not going to last for more than 4 hours. Okay, it's a very limited period offer. So go grab this opportunity. Now let's start with the session. The very first thing is the audible frequency. I mean, you know, in many of the movies, in precisely in horror movies or maybe some sci-fis, they say that certain people with special powers they're able to hear someone which does not exist in practical world, right? I mean, something that is not human being, right? We have seen this in many of the movies, but normal we cannot hear them, right? I mean, there are certain animals which can decode the frequencies. Like, I mean, it's a it it does have a mythological importance as well. I mean, in case say a dog is crying, it is believed that something bad might happen, because these dogs or maybe some other animals, they have a tendency to catch the frequencies to sense something which is beyond our scope. Okay, so for us, for human beings, there is a range of frequencies within which we can hear the sound. Okay, it doesn't mean whatever we are hearing, only those sounds are present in this room. I mean, if you are watching this lecture on your mobile or maybe laptop, on your desktop with a full volume, then obviously you will be able to hear me. But it's not that the other sounds are not around. Yes, the nature is very mystic. There are other sounds as well, but our ears are not susceptible to it. Okay, we're not having that power, we're not having that range, so we cannot hear that sound. It simply goes that way. So for us, what is important is the audible frequency. Okay, audible frequency is very important, right? So what should we call audible frequency as? We should rather call it the range of frequencies within which the sound can be heard by human beings. See, the definition does have human beings. I mean, we are studying physics, but we have to mention human beings, because there are certain animals, there are certain creatures who can listen that we cannot listen. Okay, and what is the range of this audible frequency? This happens to be the range of this audible frequency. I mean, it starts from 20 hertz and it moves to 20,000 hertz. I mean, 20k hertz. It's like, I should rather write it this way: 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Okay, this is the range of the audible frequency. I mean, if a sound is produced within this frequency, only then we'll be able to listen it. Lower than this, it won't be listened. I mean, it won't be audible. Above this, again, it won't be audible. And the last part of the slide, I've clearly mentioned that audible frequency is a subjective term. You cannot objectify it. Why can't we objectify? See, let me first tell you the difference between subjective and objective. Objective means if I say that this is X, then it has to be X for everyone. Okay? If I'm saying that this is a stylus, then this has to be a stylus for everyone. Okay? If I'm talking that way, I would rather say that this stylus is an objective quantity. Okay? On the contrary, if I'm saying that ding, 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 this is a music, it might sound music to me, but for my father, it might be noise. I mean, he might not like it. For my daughter, it might be some strange noise which she hasn't encountered yet, right? So, audible frequency is again a very, very, very subjective term. Okay, be very, very particular about this. Okay, objective and subjective. We do come across these words a number of times, but we never get to relate it. We never get to understand it. Okay, so audible frequency is a subjective term. Why am I calling it a subjective term? For example, if I'm young, I'm healthy, I'm able to listen this song, this range. But what happens when I grow old? Yes, if I grow old, in fact, when every one of us will grow old, we might not be able to catch very low sounds, although those sounds will still be under the audible range. Yes, you're getting my point. I mean, at times with old age people, we have to shout. I mean, we have to tell them, okay, this is this. Now, we are in the audible range, no question about that, but they are not susceptible to it. That is why I have called it a very subjective term. I mean, audible frequency is a very, very subjective term. Never ever get confused with it. Okay. See, I have written in the slides that the audible frequency varies from person to person. I mean, I might find a particular noise, a particular sound normal, but some other might find it loud. Yes, that is why this loudness is also considered as a subjective term. I mean, uh, if you're watching this lecture, you are in class 9, but when we'll be studying class 10th, you'll get to know that loudness is again a subjective term. I might sound loud. I mean, you might think that I'm shouting, but maybe my family members who are sitting in the next room, they might not find me loud. Fine. See, it's a very subjective term. It's a very subjective term, right? This happens with audible frequency. Okay, I've clearly mentioned this thing as well. As a person gets old, the audible frequency range decreases. We have noticed this, but we have never thought about this in that particular regard. Okay, fine, good to go. See, for old people, the range drops to 12 kilohertz. Yes, and for children, they have 30 kilohertz. I mean, they are more susceptible to sounds. Yes, I mean, they can hear. Okay, it's not magic. I mean, I don't know if any one of you has a newborn baby in your house. Our parents, our guardians, they tell us that babies can hear over and above what we can hear. They smile at times while sleeping because they're dreaming about something. There's something blah blah blah. But okay, it's all a myth. But there is physics, there is science involved in it. Okay, this is how it goes. Now, I have taken few. The important ones. I have bifurcated the range of the frequency. See, 20 to 20 kHz. This is audible frequency or sonic frequency, right? This is audible frequency for human being. This is what human beings are susceptible to, the sonic or audible frequency. And what's the range of the frequency? The range is 20 hertz to 20 kHz. Now, in case a sound having a frequency less than 20 hertz is heard, we'll rather call it infrasonic frequency. Okay, we'll be calling it infrasonic frequency. Now see, let us understand the technical part. I mean, for us, the audible frequency is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Okay, I mean, if in case I'm encountering a frequency which is less than 20 hertz, I mean, we won't be able to hear that sound. Or yes, you're getting my point. We won't be able to hear that sound. In no matter what, we not be able to hear that sound. So that sounds, that particular range finds very less applications. Why? Because when we can't hear it, how can we use it for applications? Okay, but when the sound moves, when the frequency moves above 20 kHz, I mean, if I say that the frequency is greater than 20 kHz, now this finds a lot of application, a lot of application. And what are the applications? We'll be discussing in the later part of the session. Okay, and what do we call it? We call it ultrasonic frequency, or popularly we know the term ultrasound. Yes, we have heard it a number of times, but precisely in medical applications. Yes, I mean, if there is any wound, I mean, if there's a fracture or maybe anything wrong with any of the internal organs, what we do, we visit a doctor, and the doctor advises us to go for an ultrasound. And what happens in ultrasound? I mean, the rays of very high frequency are passed. Okay, we'll be discussing on it in the later part of the session. As of now, you should understand that if the range is above 20 kHz, it will be categorized as ultrasonic, or most popularly ultrasound. Yes, all of you understood this. So for us in class 9, we have got three ranges. The very basic is 20 hertz to 20 kHz, and we are calling it sonic or audible frequency, right? The second one is less than 20 hertz. I mean, if it is less than 20 hertz, we'll rather be calling it infrasonic. Can anyone tell me infrasonic? I mean, very small creatures. I mean, they do create this noise, but since it is not in our audible range, we are not able to listen that sound. Okay, we're not able to listen that sound. And then we have the sound which is greater than 20 kHz, and we call it ultrasonic frequency or ultrasound. Yes, I hope this is clear, all of you. Okay, now let's see what an ultrasound or maybe ultrasonic frequency is. See, I've told you in the beginning of the lecture only, anything finds its application only because of its striking properties. Yes, I mean, a teacher will find its place only when he or she is capable enough to make the students understand a particular concept. Any sound wave, or for that matter, any damn wave, will find its application if it will be having few exciting and different properties. Yes, so if you're not able to crack those properties, how will you ever be able to understand the application part? You won't be able to. Yes, I hope you're getting this point. If yes, just quickly I need a thumbs up. All of you are present in the session. Yes, we'll be doing few questions as well, so no issues on that. I mean, we will be doing few polls in this particular session, so you can call your friends either to attend the session. It's going to be a really interesting one. Okay, well, so what I was saying, I was talking about the ultrasound or maybe ultrasonic frequencies. I should rather write ultrasonic frequency, right? I should rather write ultrasonic frequency. And what is the range? The range is F or N. I mean, most of you have started calling it N now. So it has to be 20 kHz. I mean, if it is greater than 20 kHz. And what are the properties? That they can travel freely in solids and gas. Now see, here lies the application part. I mean, the sound can easily travel in the solids and liquids. Okay, solids and liquids, not in the gases. Fine. What happens when it passes through a gas? The intensity decreases. Okay, and as the intensity decreases, the penetrating power also decreases. And see, the best thing that it has is its frequency, a very high frequency. If the intensity is continuously falling, we don't get to have that application. So in the gases, we don't find sufficient applications of ultrasounds, but we do find in solids and liquids. And what is the reason? The reason is that they can freely travel in solids and liquids. Okay, and with what speed do they travel? They travel with the speed of sound, that is 330 meter per second. Okay, this is a very important point, very very important. Just make a note of it. You might get a question on this. Okay, I mean, they do ask a question in the MCQ form: which of the following is the correct speed for an ultrasonic wave, or which is the correct option for an ultrasonic wave? They will write it moves with the speed of sound, it moves with the speed of light, I mean XYZ blah blah. So in that case, you have to be very sure that it moves with the speed of sound. Okay, so let's see what other properties it has. See, although it has high frequency, but it carries very high energy as well. This energy part makes it very 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 special. Okay, this energy part makes the ultrasound rays very special. They carry very high energy, and this energy is exchanged, is scattered, and then ultrasound waves find their application. Okay, the other part is they travel along a well defined straight line. What we call this in physics, we call it directivity. Okay, there was a question once asked in Olympiad regarding directivity. I mean, the question was, which of these rays has the maximum directivity? Now, see, students were confused. I mean, they were not aware of the term directivity. So, I'm telling you, just note it down. They travel along a well defined straight line. Now, if I go by the technical meaning of directivity, what does it mean? I mean, what does directivity mean? If a particular ray, a particular radiation, or technically speaking, any signal is having a particular direction, I mean, the signal is bound to follow that direction. That property is called directivity. I mean, has anyone seen the DTH antennas that we have on our terrace? I mean, everyone is using a DTH these days. I mean, either Tata Sky or whatever DTH you are using. Have you seen the antennas, any one of you? I mean, every antenna, every DTH antenna is pointed at a certain direction. You know this? Every DTH antenna is pointed at a certain direction. See, what happens, this is your space, okay? And a lot of radiations and rays are coming, a lot of signals. And for example, this is your DTH antenna, okay? This is your DTH antenna. This DTH antenna is bound to receive the signals of a fixed frequency. Yes, they are bound to receive a signal of a fixed frequency. Not all signals can be received. I mean, a Tata Sky cannot receive an Airtel signal. Yes, I mean, it cannot. Every application has a set bandwidth. Fine, there is, we call it bandwidth. Yes, you must have heard this term in your day-to-day life. In layman language, we call it, I mean, I have taken a 100 Mbps connection, I have taken a 10 Mbps connection, XYZ, I have taken this much bandwidth, that much bandwidth. So the entire world nowadays is riding on the bandwidth. This might be the next big cause for, this might be the next bone of contention. You have seen these scams in our country as well, 2G, 3G scams and all. Okay, so this bandwidth is very, very, very important. As of now, it holds a lot of importance. Okay, so what I was telling you is that DTH antenna that is mounted on our terrace, it has high directivity. And why did I tell you? I mean, I was trying to relate the directivity part through a physical example. If because of any damn reason the orientation of that dish antenna is disturbed, what message do you see? I mean, you cannot watch television. I mean, you won't be receiving the signals. If you're not sure about this, just try it. I mean, it will cost you 250 rupees customer that service charge, because that service person will come and it will reorient it. But being a physics enthusiast student, if you want, you can try it. I mean, if you will be changing the direction, you won't be receiving the signals anymore, because the signals are bound to be highly directive. The same property is with the ultrasounds as well. Now, see, tell me, why is it important? I mean, for example, if you are removing these kidney stones using ultrasound, I mean ultrasonic rays, you are removing the kidney stones. We have this application. I mean, if there is a very large stone, through laser, what they do is they break these stones into fine particles. This is an application. It might be written in your books. So what I'm trying to say is, had the ray being non-directive, I mean, you have thrown the laser on the kidney and it is striking the lungs. Yes, if it was not having the directivity property, it won't have found this much application. I mean, directivity is very, very important. Yes, and ultrasound travels along a very well defined straight path. Okay, this is an added advantage which adds to the application part. Okay, I hope you're getting me correct. Yes, See, directivity. And in class 9th, if you understand these technical terms, the in-depth knowledge, then you get to see physics around you. Now, this is what I always try to do. I want my student to see physics around them. Okay, so we're done with the first two parts. Let's see what the third point says. The third point says the wavelength of ultrasound is very small. Obviously, it will be small. Why? Because we've already studied that V is equal to n lambda. Yes, we know this. V is equal to n lambda, and if V is constant, let us suppose V is constant, and it has to be constant rather. Why it has to be constant? Because the speed of sound is constant in a particular medium. Yes, I mean, if we don't change the medium, we cannot change the speed. Now if V is constant, we'll be getting n lambda is equal to constant, and this n lambda is equal to constant will give me n is inversely proportional to lambda. And now n is frequency. Yes, n is frequency. And for ultrasonic rays, the frequency is very large. It's very, very large. Now, if the frequency is very large, lambda has to be small. See, this is the technicality behind this. I mean, although the point is pretty much clear and a number of students might just turn up learning it, but this is the technical part. Okay, this is the technical part. If the value of n will be large, automatically the value of lambda will be small. Now, what is the use of lambda? I mean, which particular property is affected if I'm saying that lambda is very, very small? Okay, because of the smaller value of lambda, they do not bend at edges. Now see, just relate the two properties. The ultrasonic rays were quite directive. They were having this directivity property. Directivity means the energy was concentrated, confined in a particular direction. Yes, and at the same time it exhibits one more property which says that the wavelength is very small, so they won't bend. Now see, both these properties complement each other. Yes, just think about it. You'll get to know that both these properties are complementing each other. I mean, the ray is moving in a straight line and at the same time it's not bending. See, the directivity property has got an added advantage. Yes or no? Everyone in the session, come on. Yes or no? You got this point? Okay, fine. I hope this is pretty much clear to everyone by now. Yes? Okay. Now let's check. Let's go through the batches that Unacademy is running. See, we have got two batches. For ICSE Class 9 students, we are having two batches. The very first batch is the Mavericks batch. Okay. And the best thing is it's an all subject batch. I mean, you'll get to learn every damn topic in a Mavericks batch. And the best part is that the mode of delivery will be English. Okay. If you're comfortable with English, then you can rather go for this Mavericks batch. Okay. And on top of that, if you're subscribing for ICSE Class 9, you get the subscription from 10 to 12th absolutely free. Just see the deal. I mean, you just have to pay for this. Excuse me. You just have to pay for the subscription of Class 9. And on top of that, you'll be getting the subscription for class. You have to pay for 9 and you'll be getting the subscription for 10th to 12th free. I mean 10th, 11th and 12th are absolutely free. Okay. See, the batches have already started on 17th of Jan. They are running, but it's not late either. I mean, you can join the batches because we haven't completed the syllabus yet. And once you get the subscription, all the plus classes will be unlocked. Okay. We do have plus classes, but these are for the subscribers only. So if you are subscribed, the plus classes that you have missed will automatically be unlocked. Okay. And don't forget to use my code. This is my code, Kalyan Live. Okay. Once you're using this code, you'll be getting additional 10% discount. Okay, you'll be getting additional 10% discount if you use this code. And for those who are not comfortable with English, we have this one more batch, what we call it, Ulan batch. Okay, so we have this Ulan batch as well. Again, you'll be getting all the subjects here, but the mode of delivery will be Hindi. Okay, so you'll be taught in Hindi. That's no problem in it. Whatever language you are comfortable in, you should rather go with it. It doesn't matter at all that which particular batch you are opting for. Okay, it doesn't matter at all. So you have the option to either go with the Mavericks batch, or you have the option to rather go with the Ulan batch. Okay, yes or no? I mean, both the options are very much available, so you can select accordingly. Now let me brief you about the special Unacademy features. I mean, why should you go for Unacademy subscription? How is it different from the other portals that you have? The first part is, the very best thing is that you get to learn live. I mean, see, what the problem was, there was a bridge between the offline studies and the online studies. The bridge was, in online studies, you're not able to interact or study at your convenience. If a class is scheduled at, say, 9 a.m. in the morning, you are ought to attend the class at 9 a.m. Right? But with Unacademy, it's not the case. The timings are predefined and you can watch the recorded lectures. I mean, in online coachings, in online tuitions, they don't give you the recorded lectures. They, if you're present at that time, you can ask the questions. Okay, otherwise you have to, you'll miss the class. But here, the classes will be there for you. I mean, they are recorded and they are at your disposal. Okay. Another important feature is that you get the unlimited access to all the courses. That is the best part. I mean, all the courses can be accessed unlimited number of times. Okay, and you get to learn from the top educators. Okay, the teachers that are there on Unacademy are just top notch. So this is the best part, and this, according to me, is the best part. I mean, for me, if I were a student, I would rather be happy with this particular part, what they call it, the doubt clearing and answer writing sessions. Okay, you have special sessions where you get to learn how to write the answers and how your doubts can be resolved. I mean, you, every fourth session, let me tell you, every fourth session, right, every fourth session is a doubt clearing session, right? It's a doubt clearing session. You get to learn, you get to get your doubts resolved. So there's no point, there is no lag in your studies. Okay, another important part, you get an exhaustive coverage of the syllabus. I mean, each and every topic of the syllabus is covered. I mean, you won't find even a single heading from your council missing in the course coverage part. Okay, that's again a very, very, very good thing. Okay, you have this mentorship and guidance facility as well. Study material is provided in the PDF form. I mean, the slides that we use, I mean, you can see the slides that are running. If you were a plus subscriber, after the class you would have downloaded these slides. I mean, you don't have to make a note of it, you can download the slides. Whatever is being taught, whatever I have written, you can download it as it is. So all the slides that the educators prepare, they are prepared keeping your targets into mind. I mean, if the target batch is for class 12th board examination, so maybe class 10th board examination, so maybe class 9th term 2 examination, then the notes, the bullet points, the shortcuts, all are mentioned in the slide and they add value to the preparation. I mean, whenever at the 11th hour you just want to revise things, you have to do nothing, just go through the slides. So take a print out of that and you can study. Okay, Then we have these practice tests as well. We have got live test sessions and the batch courses. Okay, batch courses, I mean separate batches for 9th and 10th and all. Okay, and see, look at the pricing part. I mean, this according to me is the best part. The pricing is very, very competitive. I mean, you couldn't see the last two parts. Let me write it here. It's 1300 rupees per month, and this is 1500 rupees per month. Just look at the pricing. I mean, if you're going for a 6 month subscription, okay, what will you have to pay? You will be paying only 1500 per month. I mean, 1500 per month for all the subjects. I mean, physics, chemistry, maths, biology, all the four subjects at 1500. I mean, it's the deal. I mean, you cannot get it anywhere kind of. I mean, less than 400 per subject, that too from a top educator. And on top of that, this is my code. I mean, if you wish to subscribe, if you are interested, if you're watching these sessions and you're finding them good, you can use this code for the subscription. Kalyan Live. This is my code. And on this code, you will be getting a 10% discount. Now see the pricing. I mean, 1500, 10% means 150 rupees are further deducted. Now you have to pay 1350 per month. And on top of that, if you're opting for a higher duration, see, as the tenure increases, the prices drop. And nowadays, I mean, for today, only for today, today is the last day, the Republic Day offer is also valid. I mean, for 12 months subscription, you will be getting an extension of 6, which adds up to 18 months subscription. I mean to say, at the cost of 12 months, you will be getting access to the entire content for 18 months. And at this particular price, I mean, just see, for a 48-month subscription, you just have to pay rupees 750. I mean, if you're a class 9 student and you're opting for a 42-month subscription, let's be very logical. You're opting for a 42-month subscription today. You're getting 6 months free. I mean, this will add up to 42 plus 6. That is 48 months. Okay. And the pricing is 771. Okay. On 771, you will be getting 10% discount. That means 77 rupees approx are already deducted. Yes. So you're seeing, just see, 48 months for you. You might think, sir, it will add up to 54 months and I'll be, doing my +2 in 48 months. So rather go for this. It will cost you less than the 48 months if you subscribe today. So don't miss this opportunity. It's a great deal, right? And the best part, let me brief you about the special class features that we have. I mean, I've been telling you this quite a while now. We have this real-time interaction part. I mean, you can interact with the educator in the real time. Okay, you have the option to interact with the educator in the real time. You can ask your questions, any number of questions. For that, we have this doubt tab. There is a doubt tab. As soon as you click on it, a window pops up. I mean, you can write your question. In case you have a file to share, any image file, I mean, let's say you're not able to understand a particular diagram, or maybe a line in a particular diagram, or the function of a particular part of a DC motor. Let us take DC motor, or you are a class 9 student. Let us say you're not able to understand a line in the bell jar experiment. What you have to do is you have to write your doubt, attach the image and send. The doubt will reach the educator then and there in the live session. Okay, can you imagine? I mean, you had a doubt and the doubt was resolved live then and there. This is why Unacademy is the best. I mean, each and everything is being strategized, keeping the benefit of students in mind. It's not about earning money all the time. It's about doing their bit for the society as well. I mean, you guys are the future of this country, and if you're not able to get your doubts resolved because of these pandemic situations, because of the lack of the resources, then what's the use? So this is where Unacademy is better than any of its competitors. Okay, and I've told you we do have polls as well. Now you will say, sir, what are polls? Polls means we have quizzes in the special classes and in the plus classes, and what we do is in these quizzes we have these leaderboards as well. I mean, whatever answers you have given, they'll be reflected. I mean, if you're able to answer 3 questions or maybe 4 questions, and these poll boards, these leaderboards have one more parameter. I mean, your performance is accessed on 2 parameters. They are accuracy, which obviously is the most important, and the second is speed. I mean, if you're accurate but you're not able to reply the questions in stipulated time, you're not going to crack any competition. Okay, so there has to be a trade-off between speed and accuracy. It's not that just in order to have a good speed you are answering all the questions incorrect. No, that's also not correct. So it kind of tells you, it kind of creates a replication of what your performance would have been if you would have been attempting a real time exam. Okay, so this is the best part. Okay, and if you wish to watch any of my special classes, right, this is how you have to do it. You just have to download the Unacademy Learners app. You have to be started. Just enter your mobile number, the 10-digit mobile number. You can you have to enter your name XYZ and click on the continue part. As soon as you click on the continue part, you get this window open. I mean, you'll be diverted to this page where you have to select your class. I mean, since you are in class 9th or maybe in 10th, so you have to select this K12, class 6 to 12. You have to write your goal ICSE 9th or maybe 10th, right? And then select English, and you have to click next. Okay, there is a special class link attached in the description part of this video. You can just go to the description part, you can click on the special class link, and you can click on the notify me tab. Once you click on the notify me tab, you will be notified when the class starts, and you can use my code Kalyan Live. This is my code. If you're using this code, all these special classes will be unlocked. See, this is the best part. If you will be using this code, all the special classes will be unlocked. This will add value. Okay, now let's see the application parts. See, it's very normal. Why? How can we drill holes through ultrasound? I mean, see, the frequency is very, very high and they are carrying a lot of energy. We have seen this in the preceding slides that the ultrasound rays have a very large energy, they are highly directive, and they have very high frequency. Because of high frequency, the penetrating power does increase and we can use it to drill holes. Okay, for cleaning minute objects, and this is the best part. I mean, you can detect the defects in the metals. How can you detect? If the rays are undeviated, and see, there are two cases: either if you pass the ray and it passes undeviated, or it might be deviated. If it is deviated, this shows that there is some defect in the metal. So this is how we use it. Let's see. Yeah, other applications for imaging the yes, I have already discussed this. I mean, we use this in ultrasound. I mean, we have, every one of us has heard this word ultrasound. It's very popular, what they do is, see, the rays are having high frequency, they are highly directive, so they use these ultrasound rays to get the images of human organs. Okay, and we do use ultrasounds in surgeries as well. I mean, to remove cataract in the eyes. We do use it in kidneys as well. I've just told you that if you have a very large piece of stone, so you can use this concept to break the stone into finer particles and then remove it subsequently. Okay. And sonar, can anyone tell me what is a sonar? Any one of you? Anyone in the session can tell me what is sonar? Okay, let me tell you what it stands for. Stands for sound navigation and ranging. Okay, ships use this concept, sonar. Ships use this concept, and it is similar to that eco part. I mean, we have studied how does eco works, and it also works on the same principle. I'll be telling you more about it. Let me first finish it. Bats use ultrasound to avoid obstacles in their path. Yes, bats do emit ultrasound rays. What they do is they just emit these radiations, these rays. In case there is an obstacle, the ray will strike the object, it will be scattered, or it might come back. Okay, the path will be disturbed. Yes, okay, it might return back. In case it is returning back, the bats instantly get to know that yes, there is some problem, there is an object, and this everything happens so quickly that you're not able to kind of judge it. Okay, ultrasonic versus supersonic. Now this is interesting. Supersonic, I mean, as soon as this word comes supersonic, we instantly get to realize or get to know about very high frequency there. Yes, so let's see what it is. See, ultrasound or ultrasonic waves have a frequency above 20 kHz. Okay, whereas we use the word supersonic when the speed of an object is greater than the speed of sound. I mean, 330 meter per second, this is the speed of sound at 0 degree C. Be very precise with this. This is the speed of sound at 0 degrees centigrades. Okay. Yes, all of you. So this is the difference between ultrasound and supersonic. They do ask this question in your exams. Okay. They do ask it. So be very particular and be prepared for these kinds of questions. They ask these questions in your examinations. Fine. Okay. Let's see what do we have in terms of the questions that I was supposed to have. Okay. Bats produce a sound in the following range. Let's see who gets this right. I'm giving you 30 seconds to get it right. Let's see who gets this one right. I mean, it's a very easy question. We have just discussed it. Let me once again tell you about the code. Kalyan Live is the code. You can use it to avail 10% discount. Meanwhile, you think what should be the answer and reply me in the chat box. You can use this code to avail 10% discount, and the Republic Day offer. The offer is expiring tonight. I mean, it will end. Today is 27th Jan and the offer ends today. So make sure you opt for it before the offer ends. Okay. Make sure you go for it before the offer ends. I mean, you cannot afford to miss this offer. Yes, you cannot afford to miss this offer. Just do this. Okay, let's see. Okay, fine. It was a very easy one, and the answer has to be ultrasonic. Okay, bats do emit ultrasonic radiations, right? They emit ultrasonic radiations, and this is how they get to know whether or not there is an object in between. Okay, so this ultrasonic is the correct answer. Let's see the second. A man can hear the sound of frequency. Now this is the question, and you have to see which of these particular frequencies can be heard by a man. So again, I'm giving you 30 seconds. Just think about it. Don't reply in a haste. Don't be in a hurry. Just take your time and then reply. But reply correct. I mean, I'm not expecting an incorrect answer from any of you. Okay. See, this is the range of the audible frequency. So whichever option has to be correct, it should lie within this range. I mean, if the option is not adhering to this particular range, it cannot be heard. So 1 hertz, I mean, it's very less. 1 hertz has to be which kind of ray it should be. I mean, it should be infrasonic, sonic, or ultrasonic. It has to be infrasonic. It's less than 20 hertz. 10 hertz again, it has to be infrasonic. 5 megahertz. Mega means 5 into 10 to the power 3 or maybe 6, whatever. There, it should be HZ. Still, it is not within the particular ranges. Okay, 5 megahertz. So what should be the answer? The answer has to be 1000 hertz. Okay, answer has to be 1000 hertz, right? Be very particular about these type of questions. They might confuse you at times. Okay, let's see one more question. Again, just try it for 30 seconds. I'm giving you 30 seconds. Let me see if any one of you can get it right. After that, I'll tell you the application of the echo. I mean, how do we use echo part? You have 30 seconds to answer the question. It's very easy. Just see the question properly. The properties of ultrasound that make it useful are high power and good directivity, high power and high speed, high frequency and high speed, and last is high frequency and bending towards the object. See, of all the properties that we have studied regarding ultrasound, the two main properties were it was having high energy plus high directivity. Okay, these were the two most prominent properties, high energy and high directivity. Now, high energy gives it high penetrating power. I've told you, high energy gives it high penetrating power. Okay, this high energy gives it high penetrating power, which obviously increases its power. So technically speaking, high power and good directivity has to be answered. See, never get confused with this high speed part. No, number of times I have seen students getting confused with this high speed part. No, you don't need to be confused with the high speed part. The most prominent property that the ultrasounds have is high power and good directivity. I mean, because of this directivity part only, they are having medical applications. I have given you an example as well. I mean, a sound array is focused to hit the kidney, and if it is not having good directivity, it will rather hit the lungs. Yes, so good directivity indeed is the most important property. Okay, fine. Now, I've told you that they do find application in the cardiography as well. I mean, cardiography nowadays, cardiography, it is again a cardiography means imaging of heart. Okay, I mean, for imaging hearts as well, we use ultrasonic rays. So they find an application here as well. So this again is an important point where they find their application. So we have seen 3 questions. Okay, and all the 3 questions were different, and I guess, I mean, you won't be getting any other question. The only thing that we didn't discuss was this sonar. I mean, technically, and I've told you that it somewhere or the other follows the same logic that the eco concept has. Let me quickly brief you about this. For example, I mean, let us say that this is object 1, which obviously it is producing sound. I mean, it might be considered as a barrel or a gun, a man standing with a barrel or the gun. Either ways it can be perceived, but let us see that this is object 2. I mean, this creates a sound. Okay, for example, this creates a sound, right? What will happen if the sound waves are directive? It will go, it will strike if there is a cliff, hill, or any object, and they will return back. Okay, so what happened, and with what speed will they be traveling? The speed will be, say, 330. Let us suppose that they are traveling with the speed of sound 330. Okay, so what they do is, actually the speed is fixed, I mean 330 meter per second, and they have to sense the object. I mean, if this was a ship and it had to, for for example, this was Titanic and it had to detect the iceberg. Okay, now this sound, it hits the iceberg and gets back, and the time is noted. Just just make a note of it, the time is noted. Now see, we know that distance is equal to speed into time. Now see, the time we know, see, it goes there and returns back. So technically speaking, if t is the time in going and ideally t is the time in returning, so what we actually have, we have 2t. Okay, 2t. So from this 2t we have to extract t, and we have to use this formula, distance is equal to speed into time, and from here we can easily calculate the distance part. Okay, as soon as we get the distance part, half the job is done. Yes, all of you, you're getting this point? As soon as we get this distance part, half the job is done. Okay, all of you? Yes. Okay, I guess this is all for today's session. I hope you have understood. It was a very small topic, but a very application based. At times, it happens that we get the questions and we are confused. So if you are watching this video, I mean, if you have watched this video once only, none of the questions from your exam will be wrong. This is for sure. I mean, they do ask a question at times, like for example, what what is the speed of ultrasonic waves? Or what is the speed of ultrasound? So what will you reply? What is the speed of ultrasound? If you remember the properties, we have read there that they move with the speed of sound. Yes. And what is the speed of sound? The speed of sound is 330 meter per second. Okay, so you have to reply that the speed of ultrasound is in air. Obviously, see, the medium is very important. We have discussed this in sound waves as well. Each and every wave, when changes its medium, the properties, the speed, everything changes. So medium does play a vital role. So be very specific when these types of questions are asked. You have to understand that medium plays a vital role. Okay, so my answer should be 330 meter per second, right? Yes. And at times in your examinations you get certain frequencies. I mean, they give you certain values and ask you on which particular range do these values fall. Okay, I mean, they can give you, say, 40 kilohertz. Okay, they give you 40 kilohertz. What will you say? 40 kilohertz, I mean 40 kilohertz is greater than 20 kilohertz. So obviously, hello Neha, how are you? Hello beta, how are you? So this 40 kilohertz is obviously greater than the 20 kilohertz part. So what will happen? It will obviously be under ultrasound. Yes, I hope you're doing well, Neha. So this is how it goes. Okay, I hope you are finding the sessions interesting, all of you. Yes. So let's have a quick recap and then we can end the session. We have discussed 3 questions as well. So we started off with the basics of audible frequency, right? The session started with the basics of audible frequency. That audible frequency is called sonic frequency as well. Okay. And what's the range? The range for the sonic frequency is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. And then we have And then we have studied infrasonic waves. They have frequency less than 20 hertz. Oh, hi Muni, how are you? I mean, you have come with a different name this time around. Yes? You were not present in the session? Then we discussed ultrasonic waves. And what was, um, Muni, were you present in the session? I mean, did you log in from someone else ID, which are greater than? Okay, beta. Okay, okay. Okay, Neha. Great. I hope you have attended the session. Did you? Okay, fine. Thanks for the for the presence, and I hope you have found the session great. Okay, this is all we have covered in this particular session. Fine. I guess that is it for this session. In case you haven't downloaded the Unacademy app yet, just go for it. It's the right time to download it and just enroll for my next special class. Okay, we'll we'll discuss something very interesting in that class, so don't miss that class rather. Okay, thanks everyone, thanks for staying. I can only say stay healthy, stay safe. Please don't move out of your houses unless it is important, and as far as your studies are concerned, we have an academy for that. Okay, so thank you very much, and thanks a lot.